Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, the effects of this full moon will last from January 10th to February 9th, which is when the next full moon is. So let's dive right in, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus, and see what this full moon holds for you. I will be describing and talking about all the cards that I have laid out, and I'm going to be moving the Spirit Guide Oracle cards, the Animal Spirit Guide Oracle cards over to the side, and I'll be using this at the end. And I'm moving the Moonology Oracle cards over to the side, and I'll be layering the Moonology Oracle cards and the Queen of the Moon Oracle cards on top of the traditional tarot so that the moon gets to speak, but also the tarot gets to speak, and they get to come together, and it's really quite beautiful and rather magical how they bring to life what this full moon will be bringing you during this time. So I'm also going to move the full moon, the Queen of the Moon Oracle cards over to the side, and then take the tarot. And all these cards will be linked in the description box below. And let's see now. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. What the full moon of the decade, the first full moon of the decade, of the 20s has in store for you. And it's an eclipse full moon too, so the energy is just absolutely astounding. So Taurus, January 2020 full moon. How will Taurus be affected by the January 2020 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the January 2020 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the January 2020 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the January 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop because that's where the energy of the cards becomes the lightest. So either I stop there, where the energy becomes the lightest, or where the cards fall. All right, so let's get started. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. Oh, a choice is made that sets you free. Yeah, the Eight of Wands, definitely. Brilliant. The Six of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords. An air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. The Seven of Swords. The Ace of Swords, you're definitely taking this gift of knowledge that this moon is bringing you. Then you have the Star card. This is also an Aquarius energy, so know that the new moon is going to be in Aquarius, so this is going to be a very powerful new moon for you. The new moon is on January 24th. Then we have the Seven of Wands. The repeat of the number 7 is talking about honesty here. Make sure you keep things honest and on the up and up, not that you wouldn't. And also, you're going to really be valuing people's honesty during this time. And then we have the Empress, which is absolutely brilliant. The moon is in Cancer. So let's talk about this moon for just a bit. The moon is in Cancer, and this moon is very much a connection with the sacred feminine, which we're seeing you having a very strong connection to, and the honesty and the openness of the sacred feminine really coming out. Let me just move this back a little bit for you. Really coming out during this time. You're seeking for deeper truth and deeper meaning. So this full moon is going to bring you profound power. And it's a surrender to the divine, but also surrendering to your heart, to what it is that you truly need as you move forward. Because with this moon in Cancer, all the emotion around the moon and what the moon brings is amplified by the eclipse. So this is, again, about the sacred feminine. This is about the theme. It underlines themes of the home, of belongings, of ancestral roots, of sanctuary, of a sense of feeling as if this is your safe place and this is where you need to be and how you need to grow. And there's just a sense of forgotten memories coming up, things that you might not have thought of for years upon years or for quite some time coming up during this time, and you sitting there and reflecting upon things. You're also going to feel great power from great ancestral memories coming your way from this life, from past lives. There are going to be moments where you say, I just know. And you might sit there and even surprise yourself by just knowing it's the power of this full moon coming in. And this full moon, as you surrender to the divine, as you move forward in its power and in its grace, this is the wolf moon. So you're hungry. You're hungry for personal issues reaching a resolve, okay? Reaching a resolution, there we go, with the full moon in Cancer. And so there is a hunger for this deeper truth, this deeper feeling of belonging, this sense of embracing your soul, yourself, as you move forward. And as the doors open for you, there is a sense here of a strong pull towards what your soul needs for you, Taurus. The color that surrounds this time period, this moon, is rose, and I see the scent of roses grounding you, because the scent of roses helps bring out latent power, but also helps ground you, helps center you to your truth, to what it is that you desire. So that scent is going to be very important. You might just start smelling it as you're walking around, or you might find yourself very drawn to it, buying a candle that's rose scented, or wearing rose scented something, or being drawn to rose teas or something to that effect during this time. Also, the color rose will be very grounding for you. Very, very grounding. Actually, Spirit is saying, and it sounds funny, but Spirit is saying if you can wear rose socks, that's going to show your grounding. That's going to help you move forward in a grounding in the spiritual, which makes me smile. So here there is just a sense of you moving towards what you're hungry for, what you desire, and where it is that you need to be. There's also a sense here of inspiration surrounding you. Okay, there is a sense of planting a seed during this time, and this is the best moon with the Cancer energy, with the nurturing feminine energy around this moon, to plant the seed of what you want. If you're in the northern hemisphere, this is a time, and you can see it outside your window, of being in the womb, of things being dark, of things being more of a searching inward. Okay, if you're in the southern hemisphere, there is a sense of it kind of being like the incubators where you put baby chicks in, where it being warm and it being cozy, right? But there is a sense here of that warmth and that coziness still needing to be nurtured within before what you truly want is born forward and moves you in your grace and in what you desire. This is all going to be amplified by the eclipse. So what you truly want is coming forward at this time. But there is a sense here that so here with the full moon eclipse, it says conclusions are within reach. You are reaching some vital information. Now, as you are reaching some vital information during this time period from the 10th of January to the 9th of February, please do be careful about the void of course, which is happening during the full moon at 6:58. Okay? So the void, and this is Eastern Standard Time, the void of course makes it so that whatever you are doing at this time will not have the outcomes that you expect. And there are more void of courses during this time period, okay, from the 10th to the 9th of February. So if we look them up, I can make a list of them and put them in the description box below. That's what I'll do for you guys. All right. So here, just be mindful of this time, because and Spirit is saying from about 6 o'clock, from about 6:50 to 7:15 p.m., okay, in the evening, this is not a good time to make any big decisions. This is a time where you need to step back and you really need to look at things, because things will not go according to your plan if you make decisions during this time. And for you, Taurus, I do see the void of course being very impactful for you. So I will put that in the description box below. And then you have the full moon. Now the full moon comes here in your cards. It's crowning you. It actually helps you move past and alleviate something that you feel trapped about. So here, with the new moon in Aquarius, it says bring love into the situation. It's the love of this full moon. It's the love of Aquarius that you are in, but also of Cancer that is permeating this whole time period for you, that is moving you forward. There's a sense of being freed from something that has held you back in the past. And the new moon says a new start is coming. It's time to move forward towards your grace, towards your power, towards where you want to be. And you're seeing a new start for you. You're seeing kind of as if the slate was washed clean, and contemplating how it is that you want to be embracing the next segment of your life, the next way you want to be moving forward. There's revelations that come. Yeah, there are definitely revelations that come, and it comes around wanting happiness and peace within your life, not around force and conquering. Yeah, very much so. And then we have here the animals that surround the month of January, and that is the bear and the owl. So here within the Spirit Guide animal cards, it is the brown bear, and this says take time out. You are going to need to take time out to connect with you, to connect with what you desire and how you want to be. Meditation, if you like to meditate, meditation would be a highly beneficial thing for you, or going for a walk, or just doing something that you get tremendous joy out of, Taurus, is going to put you into alignment and going to help that seed that you are planting during this time take root and grow. And then the owl says you see clearly now. You'll see things much more clearly as you enter into February, and since the full moon time affects part of February, the otter spirit here says you are never alone. So you'll see clearly that you are never alone, and this is very much connecting you with the sacred energy of the earth, of the Divine Mother, of the way to move forward in love and in bounty and in joy. All right. Okay, so let's dive into the tarot now that we have all this information out. So we have the Two of Pentacles. You are starting this new moon with a sense of balancing and needing to balance a lot. There is a sense here, and let me just see this more clearly. Okay, so there's a basset hound bringing a bag with something in it. Something is going to be revealed to you that as you're juggling, it's going to make you feel like, oh my gosh, I got knocked off course, but it's actually going to be one of the best things that have happened. There is a sense here of you having eternal prosperity. And with the Seven of Wands, you're actually seeing that eternal prosperity. You're seeing your power. You're seeing your truth. You're seeing your worth. And here you've conquered a lot of doubts and a lot of fears. And that's actually going to be through man's best friend, bringing you knowledge and understanding that you hadn't fully realized before. So there's going to be something here, and it's going to be from a loyalty of self. It's kind of like I'm seeing the loyalty of a dog, the man's best friend thing coming up, where you move forward towards what you truly want and not feeling as if you have to justify yourself against anybody else, because the Seven of Wands in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is a person defending themselves against 6 wands. So there's a need here to defend yourself, a need here to stand your ground. But here, you've already stood your ground. You already know who it is that you are. So you're kind of ahead of the game here, Taurus, when entering into this full moon. And that's why the full moon has that's why there's such powerful imagery here for you on these tarot cards, or in these tarot cards, that is moving you forward and that is gracing your presence, right? So there is definitely a sense, and let me just see here, because, yeah, that little bird right there, there's definitely a sense of being able to fly higher, being able to see more, because he's looking in the same direction as this man. So there is a sense here of your freedom, seeing your truth, seeing your worth. You're not a pushover, and there have been times where you have questioned, am I going to move forward the right way? Do I know where it is that I stand, what it is that I want, where it is that I need to be? And the answer is absolutely yes. And sometimes things get muddled because the world comes in. This is also a fantastic time to calm the muddling, to focus the self, and to move forward in your power. Because at your crown, you have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, this imagery is very intense. You have here the multi-pointed star. You have the woman behind the bars defending herself. And you can even say here that, these beetles are also defending her, because they're coming outward, they're walking outward. And what I'm seeing here is the star of Venus, the star of love, the star of what you truly desire. And this is connected with the star. So the new moon for you on January 24th is going to be very powerful. The color for that time is coral. So having coral around you during this time will help amplify the love that is coming your way, because with the star of Venus shining through, I see the star of love, the star of power of the heart, really leading you forward, and you finding more balance, more truth, and more understanding from what is evolving around you. And here you are not only, pouring water into the pond that has the lotus flowers, but you are watering the roses. You are watering the sweetness. And rose, remember, is the color for this full moon, for the January 10th wolf moon that we are going to be going into with the eclipse. So there's a sense here that you are needing to defend yourself. You're needing to state your power and say what it is that you want, because I'm almost seeing here, and oh, that's funny. Hold on. I'm just going to jump for a moment, because you have 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands in this row. Oh, goodness. In this row right here. So there's a sense here that you are counting down, right? You are digressing, but there's a sense that you go from feeling as if you have to defend yourself, that there's a battle you need to fight, to seeing a massive change come in. And that same bird that is in this card right here is here flying with the star on its back. So we have the star in the 9 of Wands being connected with the 8 of Wands and being connected with the bird then in the 7 of Wands. So there's this power that is leading you forward, this progression, this evolution, and it all is stemmed around a change that is coming in, that makes you see your heart's desire, that makes you see your soul's wish. Right? And you might not see it, Taurus. You might be a little bit cloudy on it, but definitely Spirit sees it. And during this time of you opening up your heart, of you connecting with your truth and with your love and with your soul, you are going to find that there's no room for nonsense. The Queen of Swords is you cut through doubts and fears. And what I love is that the Queen of Swords has the bull next to her. So the bull represents you, Taurus. And so there is a sense of you guarding the truth, of you guarding your might and your power in the winter right here, connecting with this moon that, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, happens during winter, and is that time of incubation, is that time of being in the womb, and is that time where you sit there and you say, okay, it feels cold and overwhelming at times, the way I want to move forward. I sit there and I think, how can I do this? How can I get to where it is that I want to be? And that's through truth and honesty with self. And that's through embracing your power, which leads you to the Empress, who represents the mother, who represents the pregnancy. And so then here we have, and by pregnancy I mean the full moon, the fact that the moon is full. Back in the ancient times, the moon would be pregnant. So here we have the bull coming through again, defending the mother, defending the queen. And this is the person behind the scenes. You're going to find that this time for you, Taurus, is not one where you need to charge out there and have everybody know your name and see you. This is going to be a time where you feel much more comfortable behind the scenes, looking at things, taking things in, and moving forward towards the truth and the power of your heart and your soul, and what your soul is calling towards, that resolves issues, that brings you closer to your prosperity, and that moves you forward in your power and in your grace. There is a sense here of very much being connected with the earth. If you could be outside during this full moon, and I do know that if it's cold where you are, you might not want to be outside for very long, but if you could just go and stand outside in the power of this full moon, that is going to be highly beneficial for you. And there is such a great connection to the truth that you will be speaking, the truth that you will be seeing. There is a cleanse, there is a power towards you during this time, and it will shine very bright, and you will actually feel a bit out of place, because if you see here, the Empress is green, so green is out of place for a skin color. So there is going to be a sense of feeling out of place, of feeling, and questioning and thinking, am I making the right choice? Am I moving forward the right way? The answer is absolutely, because here you have the bull, here you have the stars. You are connected with what you truly love and the place that you're truly heading to. There are going to be revelations that come. The quiet moments are going to be where you embrace these revelations and where you really start to see the truth of what you desire and the place that you need to be. This leads you to the 7 of Swords. Now, the 7 of Swords here, he is walking away with 6 of the swords, but he's not getting close to that sword because there are the wolves around it. And he's like, okay, I'd rather go than get into this argument, then get into a fight with 2 wolves. So, and that's so interesting because this is the wolf moon. So the fact of the matter is that during this time, you do not want to be in arguments. You do not want to be in stressful situations. So you're going to try and avoid this. You're going to be moving forward towards what you want, towards what you desire, and the place that you need to be, which is taking all your knowledge and knowing what to leave behind, saying, you know what, that's not a part of me anymore. It's not worth the battle. It's not worth the fight that I will get into. And you move forward here. You digress again from 7 to 6. You move forward to a place of prosperity, to a place of giving, to a place of your heart's truth and the power of your soul and yourself. And as you do so, you are going to find things being more balanced and embracing more of an understanding of you. So here, with the Six of Pentacles, a lot of times it's giving, it's just being taken from. All right, and that can very well be one of the things that you are coming up against, Taurus, and that the full moon is bringing up, because it's going to bring up forgotten moments. It's going to bring up a need for emotional connections and for sanctuary and for this place of sustenance and beauty. And so because of that, and because you are such a giving person already, Taurus, and you have such a sensuality around you, this is a moon that's almost perfectly made for you. And you're going to be seeing that you're actually creating very clear boundaries during this time and embracing what you need to set up those boundaries, to not be drained anymore, to not always feel as if you're giving and giving and giving and giving and nobody else really understands and they're always taking. So here you have the power of a king to you. You have the power of being looked at and listened to and seen, all right? So the actor upon the stage, very much so. But it's in a very nurturing way. It's in a very powerful way. And the thing here to know is that as you give the cups, as you fill up these people, okay, you have to not drain yourself. You cannot drain your own cup so that there is nothing left to give, because you're going to have the very strong inclination and the very strong desire to give and give and give. And this isn't just for this moon, Taurus. This is something that needs to be, that Spirit is saying it needs to be addressed so that you can move forward in the power and the bounty and the beauty that you absolutely and positively were born to have. So as you set up these boundaries, as you know that you have to refill your emotional energy and your emotional truth, that becomes your power. That becomes part of your grace. And that becomes why people are drawn to you, is because you know your worth and where to put the line. All right, and you don't have the line in the sand and it's always moving and changing. No, you're very firm on what you need, on how you need to move forward, and what you desire to create within your life. This leads you to knowing your victory, to knowing your prosperity, to seeing that you are worthy and absolutely graced with the greatest of things, with the power of prosperity, abundance, the sense of success, leading you towards the goals that you have set for yourself and may have set for yourself years upon years ago. They're starting to come up. The forgotten memories are also going to be forgotten desires, forgotten things that you thought, oh, I really want to do this, and then sat there and thought, oh, no, I can't. I couldn't possibly. And then you realize that, yes, I can. You're realizing that what you have been juggling for so long is within reach. You just weren't seeing it in the right way. It's kind of like your mind is cleared, and as your mind is cleared, you come into a power, you come into an understanding where you can see the gift, where you're not so focused on simply the juggling task at hand, where the gift just kind of passes you by. And what gift you're getting is the Ace of Swords. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of knowledge, handing you a gift of understanding. And again, it is a wolf. So the wolf here, the wolf moon, is providing you with great knowledge. And here, there is a sense of you taking that knowledge and guarding that knowledge as it becomes a part of you and as it guides you. There is very much a sense here of knowing that you can be a little sharp-tongued during this time, because you're going to be seeing the discrepancies in people and things, the lies, all right? And they're not really, for some people, they're not going to be lies. They're just not going to be full truths, which I know you might be saying, well, what the heck's the difference? There is going to be a difference. They might sit there and say, oh, well, I didn't tell you this because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, or I didn't want you to be overstressed, or something to that effect. So don't be too harsh with people when what they're not telling you is because they want to protect you. You might sit there and not appreciate it and say, okay, well, next time, please do let me know, because that would be very helpful for me to be able to move forward. But there is going to be a sense here of kind of wanting to snip a little bit, because you want to have all the information coming in. Don't let the air sign energy take over. and have that, because air sign energies, what Spirit is saying is air sign energies have a tendency to, to get sharp-tongued. And that's one of the things that air signs have to worry about. And those are Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses. And you have a strong Aquarius presence within this reading. So there's also a strong Aquarius presence here as you move forward. So I would really, really, really be mindful of this new moon, because the new moon, January 24th, is going to be highly, highly powerful to you. And you might find yourself being a bit more cross with people, a bit more snippy at things than you would normally be. And that's not going to be something that you're actually comfortable with later on. You're going to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? I blew it out of proportion, kind of thing. So know here that you are the queen. You are the queen, you are the ruler, you are prosperous, you are bountiful, you are secure within your right. So do not let other people's insecurities or your own doubts and fears override the sense of victory that is at your heart. Because this knowledge, this understanding, and this embracing of the knowledge that comes with this wolf moon leads you towards a place of tremendous change. Everything starts to change. And this is after you feel as if, oh my gosh, what I love isn't coming to fruition. It's kind of like you've listened to your heart, and you might actually feel now, Taurus, that your heart has led you down the wrong path. I want to tell you with a lot of assurity that it has not. It has led you down a different path. It has led you to a place that you might not have been expecting, but it is definitely not the wrong path for you, because change is coming in. And what it's doing is this change, this Eight of Wands, is leading you towards your victory and towards a balance that is absolutely beautiful for you. It is a place where if you didn't go through this pain, you never would get to your soul's wish being granted. You would never get to this place of love and light leading you forward and illuminating you. And that's what Spirit is saying. Nothing you have been through, Taurus, is by accident. All right? And you might say, Dane, it's so hard. And I understand it is so hard. And there have been times where I've looked at the world and I've looked at everything and I'm like, why? Why is this? And it is because we are being forged by the difficulties we are put through. If you have watched my channel before, you're going to roll your eyes and say, oh, Dane, not the diamond story again. But yes, the diamond story. The diamond story is a diamond is made by a piece of coal, which is not worth as much as a diamond at all, being put under tremendous amount of pressure for a tremendously long period of time. Now, either that piece of coal crumbles away and becomes smaller bits of coal, which is worth even less, or it becomes a diamond. And that's what the world is doing. With every hardship, every pain, every bit of suffering that we go through as human beings, we become diamonds, or we crumble away. And it is our choice, because there's always free will here. So choose the light of love that is shining above you. Choose the star of Venus that is leading you forward. All right? Now let's see, because what we're going to do is we're going to do half Moonology and half the Queen of the Moon. So let's see how the moon speaks to you within the tarot, how it all correlates. So Taurus, January 2020 full moon, Taurus. 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 Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to lay this out silently. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so let's see the Queen of the Moon. Taurus, January 2020 full moon, Taurus. 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 Show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Okay. I love it. And I love that you got darkness, because the darkness here represents that eclipse. At least that's exactly what Spirit says as I said it, as I put it down. So at the heart of everything here, we have the full moon in Pisces. So this says balance situation, balance spirituality and practicality. Sorry, sometimes my dyslexia shines through as the star that it is. And that's what we have you doing right here, which is actually really super exciting, because here it's all about balance. And here you have a man juggling. So it's all about balancing. And balancing the spiritual and the practical is going to be very important, and not getting caught up in the Spirit is saying something is going to overwhelm you, Taurus, or something has been overwhelming you. If you get caught up in it, it will become too much. And that's why the gift that the Basset Hound is bringing you. Is that a Basset Hound? No, that isn't. Well, the gift that the dog is bringing you is going to be absolutely beneficial for you as you move forward, absolutely powerful for you. It brings a sense of balance, and that's what the moon is doing for you at this time. It's taking a sense of not knowing your footing, not feeling as balanced as you would like, and it's moving you forward into a powerful, beautiful place where you feel balanced, where you feel secure, where you feel powerful. And this moves you to fruition. It moves you to claiming your bounty and your understanding. It moves you to standing on top of your goals and saying, this is what I have achieved. This is what I have done, and look at who I am. Not in a pompous way, not in a, oh, everybody come gather around me, kind of way. Let me show you my greatness. But in a sense of seeing everything that you have been through, and knowing here that even though you have the 9 of Wands up top, even though you have this sense of needing to protect yourself and feeling overwhelmed and feeling as if matters of the heart that you have made, decisions from the heart that you have made have betrayed you at times, or led you from the place that you wanted to be, knowing here that they're leading you actually towards victory, because the place that you are standing, the place that you need to stand, is powerful and beautiful, and it comes through being forged. It comes through the weight being put on your shoulders and being made into that diamond. So things are being brought into fruition that is giving you clear sight, but others might not be seeing you as clearly as you would. You wouldn't like them to see you clearly, as maybe you would hope they would intuitively see. But this is your journey, this is your choice, this is your power. And there's a bit of a mystery around you during this time, which is actually something that is going to be rather fun to embrace. You're actually going to really like that. The fact that people can't put their finger right on where you're heading, what you're doing, and how you're moving yourself forward. This then leads you to the waxing moon, which says the energy is gaining momentum. And the energy is gaining momentum of you feeling as if you have to defend yourself. And this isn't actually energy that you would sit there and be like, oh, yay. This is going to be, there comes a point where things come to a crescendo, where it's like enough is enough. And this moon is going to highlight this for you, because this moon is bringing such a sense of peace with it, such a sense of serenity, such a sense of power, that as it washes over you, as this power washes over you, you might sit there and it can very well be, especially for a few of you Taurians, it's going to be in direct contrast with how you're feeling at the time. And so the energy is gaining momentum, and then it collapses. It's like it cannot. There is no way that you want to stay in this sense of having to defend yourself, in this need of having to, stand your ground and know where it is that you want to be. And you want to step into the love again and put down the barrier that is between you. Okay? Because love isn't failing you. It isn't. It's your heart. We are emotional beings. I believe that full-heartedly. And as emotional beings, we move forward into a place of love and into a place of power that is really quite breathtaking for us. And so, by not being afraid of what the heart wants and what the heart is saying, you open yourself up to new gateways and new pathways to power and to truth. This leads you to nourishment, and it really does. And again, look at here. She's holding up fruit, okay? But it also kind of looks like, at first glance, that she's pouring water down, and that's it. You're holding in your hands bounty and nourishment. You cannot live without water and without food. So here, there's the nourishment that is coming forward. There's this balance that is coming forward, and it is bringing you beauty, wisdom, peace, love, serenity, understanding, bounty, passion. And you are nourishing your heart and your soul, and you are embracing power and truth of yourself. And there's going to be that nourishment, again, January 24th of the new moon, where you start to really embrace, you bring love into this situation and you embrace the nourishment of that love. But it's going to take a bit of time, because with the Nine of Wands here, there is that sense of feeling as if you have to protect yourself. You have to, be moving forward in. It's almost like you have to keep the fight or flight mentality up, and you don't need it anymore. You just don't. And this is bringing you to the third quarter moon. Adjustments are required, where you look at your power, you look at what it is that you desire, you look at what you're speaking into the world. Know that your voice, Taurus, is going to hold tremendous power to it, and adjust your words. You adjust your whole entire life. And this is really speaking from a place of the heart, coming from a place of comfort within darkness. Right? It's also what I'm seeing Spirit say here, that the darkness provides a tremendous comfort to you. It brings a sense of peace and serenity and calm that helps you cut through doubts and fears, that helps you claim your power, your mind, and your truth. This leads to the most beautiful explanation of the Empress: acceptance. This leads to acceptance. This leads to an opening of the heart and the soul. This leads to accepting what you truly desire and where you truly desire being, and moving forward in that passion, moving forward in that truth. There is a sense here that as you embrace your mind and your vision of things, you accept the truth about yourself that had once been out of reach. That by opening up your heart, you open up to a creativity, a new way of thinking of things, a new way of, Spirit is saying, of embracing the movements of you, then move you towards the grace of where you want to be, the power of your truth. And that then brings you to the supermoon, which says emotions are running high, because they are. And with the Seven of Swords, you are sneaking away from a fight. Okay? You're leaving behind something where it's like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it, Taurus. So there's something here where you will have, during this time frame, from January 10th to February 9th, the ability to have a really big fight. To do something that just awakens the wolves. And you don't want to do that. It is not going to be in your best interest. Your best interest is to say, I'm worth more than this. I'm worth more than an argument. I'm worth more than, somebody trying to tear me to shreds, which is how wolves fight. I'm worth my power, and I am moving in my power. So as emotions run high, it's your emotional IQ. It is your emotional intuitiveness that is running high. Use it to the best of your ability, and use it as the gift that it is. This leads you to the darkness. Right? And the darkness, the long moon, the sense of, and you see here the rabbits represent, yes, you can be as scared as a rabbit, but it's also a sense of magic. And by magic, I don't mean hocus pocus. I mean the fact that the God's head is within you. And as you embrace that magic, as you embrace that truth, you are going to start opening up new doors, and you are going to be a pathway of light. And that is going to be something that people see. It's going to be very much a king's role for you. All right? Do not give all of yourself till there is nothing left. It will be too much, and you will regret it highly. All right? Make sure your cups are balanced, and know that people are seeking something so much deeper, and they see that within you. So that is beautiful, but it can also be astoundingly overwhelming. So be very, very, very mindful of this. This leads you to fruition and acceptance. The acceptance of what is coming to fruition, what is moving you forward. Then we have the South Nod. It says, don't let your past hold you back, because new knowledge, new insights, new understandings are leading you forward, and you're being guided by the wolf. You are being guided by this moon. You are then led to realizations. See how she's walking through the lock? It's like you are the key. It's time to move forward. It's time to go after what it is that you want, because as you come to these realizations, all of a sudden you have the Eight of Wands right there. You have the sense of movement. You have the sense of change. You have the sense of power. And as you embrace the power, you want to step back a little bit. You don't just want to kind of charge head on. Spirit is saying step back a little bit, but then charge, then go after it. Know that, and I see this more for a lot of you Taurians, this is a spiritual change. This is a change of the way that you look at yourself, the way that you look at your power, the way that you're looking at a situation. And what is beautiful about this is you change your mind, you change your whole entire life. I believe quite firmly and strongly that we are emotional beings. So we come from a place of the heart. Our heart impacts our minds. Our emotions have us look at things in different lights and different understandings. So here, as you walk through the gateway, okay, there is a sense of things changing around you, new ideas coming, as you take in, as you aren't defined by your past anymore, as you let the ideas move forward, as you see yourself being forged, as you see the fires coming up and the passion surrounding you, okay, you're going to see that new ways of looking at things come, and you're going to see that things start to change. You know, there's a change that's around you. There's a change that moves you forward. There's a passion that embraces you. And it nourishes, you're nourished by the endless possibilities that surround you at this time. And you bring to fruition that sense of realization, that sense of release, that sense of I am not defined by my past, but I am defined by my present, my soul, and myself. And that is the place for which I am going to live. Let's see your spirit animal guide. We're just going to pull one card here. Taurus. Taurus, January 2020 full moon. 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 Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. All right. It's the crow spirit, which I love. This is so apropos for you. This is co-create with spirit. As the crow spirit comes in, as you are flying to heights, and we saw this in the cards with the birds in them, okay, with the 8 of Wands and with the 7 of Wands, there's the sense of flying to new heights, and you are co-creating with spirit your power, your desire, your bounty, and your truth, where your heart needs to be. And as you co-create with spirit, your subconscious message here is the wolf spirit. Of course it is the wolf spirit, because this is such a powerful moon for you. It is actually the most powerful moon for you I have seen in, well, ever, actually. And this says, turn knowledge into wisdom. Turn knowledge into wisdom and strive to new heights. You are wiser, stronger, better than you've ever imagined, right? And embrace that truth. This then leads you to the subconscious message of the Moonology cards, which is the new moon in Gemini. Communication is the key. Speaking what you have learned, and speaking in this respectful, understanding way, not in a way of I am right or might equals right. This sense of a mastery of words. And that's it. That's what I see here with the Queen of Swords. It's a mastery of words. It can say that at times, the sharpness of your tongue can get the better of you. Yes, of course, be mindful of that. But don't make that be what you focus on, because there's a mastery of your words here. You are the queen. You are the person who gets to be listened to, who has earned the right to be listened to, and you stand above others. Okay? You stand above others in your knowledge. So communication is key. And then your subconscious message here with the Queen of the Moon cards is self-love. It's moving forward in love of self. It's moving forward in knowing that you are just as good as everybody else. Okay? The key is that we are not better than anybody else, but we are no worse. So do not feel or treat yourself as if you are worth less. Okay? Worth less than everybody else. Not holding as much of a value. That is absolutely wrong. Self-love is your key. That love shines bright from you. It moves you forward. It graces you. It has you illuminated by the light of the moon, by this gentle, glowing, healing light. Okay? The beautiful, silvery light. And that becomes part of your soul and part of yourself. This then moves you to the subconscious message of this whole entire reading, which is the Fool. You are on a new journey, and subconsciously you know this. And as you embrace this new journey, you embrace a new truth about you. And you walk off the cliff, and you might say, oh my gosh, he's actually walking off the cliff. Yeah. That's what we do when we enter into consciousness. That's what we do when we take power of our lives. We walk off the cliff. Will you fall? Yes. Will you get back up? Will you be stronger than ever before? Absolutely. Nobody strives for their greatness without falling. Steve Harvey has said it. Everybody has said it. Right? Those who don't say it, they lie. Little secret. But as you strive towards your greatness, as you strive towards your heart's truth, okay, there will be times where you stumble. There will be times where you fall down. But a child does not learn how to walk without falling. And you do not know how to walk within your light, within the reason why you were put on this earthly plane, without stumbling, without falling. So trust yourself and leap. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I wish you a absolutely wonderful full moon, and I love you all. Bye.